Hey everybody, this is Don Miller, professional bassist, and you are watching Case for Bass. Keep it low, keep it down, and keep it dirty.
What's happening today, Greg? And who do we
Well,
have as a guest?
I always like to say we have a special occasion with a very honored guest, but today is the rule. Today isn't the exception to the rule. Today we have Don Miller, and Don's a bassist who's played all over. And I'm just going to read you the fast list, but it may take a minute. Don's been with Dizzy Gillespie, Ira Sullivan, David Amram. He's been with Clark Terry, Dakota Staton, Ramsey Lewis, Mongo Santa Maria. He's been the bassist with Lonnie Smith, Larry Coryell, George Benson, Tony Bennett, Hilton Ruiz, Sonny Fortune, Frank West, Frank Foster. Also, Britney Spears, bassist for Britney Spears, musical director with NSYNC. I believe he played with O-Town. And Don is a been there, done that guy. And we met on Facebook, and he ended up doing a jazz trio about 5 miles from my home up here in upstate New York. And I was just immensely, just not impressed, but just fascinated with how he approaches bass and how he does everything. And Don's got some really interesting stories, and we're going to try and brush on them today. So I'm going to pass back to Anthony for the first.
First and foremost, big round of applause for you for being here, and thank you for your killer resume. So let's discuss this. So did the bass choose you, or did you choose the bass?
You know, I've thought about that for a long time, and I've come up with the conclusion that we were on a crash collision course, and we found each other. We had a collision, and it was a bonding from the beginning. Um, I had that same relationship with music from very young. Um, I can't even remember before I can even remember Chubby Checker, who did the twist, used to have a TV show when that song was out. It was very popular. And my grandparents and my parents said they would come in and catch me doing the twist because he used to teach you how to twist. And I don't know how old I was, maybe 3 4 years old at the
Oh
most.
wow,
And his music was always, without sounding corny, it
so
was
you were
always in my
crazy
blood.
young, and you got into Chubby Checker.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then my grandfather
Wow.
was a frustrated vaudevillian, and that was his love. He always fantasized about being a vaudevillian up on that stage, and he used to go to the shows back in the day. And he played banjo and ukulele and sang all the old Tin Pan Alley songs and the standards, which I later learned in my musical life and jazz life and lounge lizard life. But he had two daughters, my mother and my aunt, and of course my grandmother, and none of them were really interested in what he had to do. He would try to do little recitals or concerts, house concerts for them, and it fell on deaf ears. Same thing with my cousins, and I was the one that they set me up in the baby seat from the time I was an infant, and I was fascinated with it, and it's been that kind of thing ever since. And um, I went through several instruments. whatever I could get my hands on. My Hohner harmonicas, eventually saxophone in elementary school and in the school band for a short time, and then the electric guitar hit, and that was it. And so probably about the time I was 8 or 9, between 8 and 9 years old, I got my first um, electric guitar. Was one of the old Silvertone Dan Electro models, and
Wow.
my guitar teacher also taught a couple of my best friends. Luckily, by the time I picked up the guitar, because I had fooled around with an acoustic guitar before that, and I'm left-handed actually, and they said, "Oh, we got to string up get you a left-handed guitar. It take us about a week." And I played that when I was 7 for a little while. Luckily, the acoustic guitar with Mary Had a Little Lamb and just all that kind of stuff, my interest waned, and it wasn't until the electric it was rejuvenated. And I learned at first by playing my friends' guitars, which were right-handed, and I didn't even realize it at the time. Thank God I did, because it's so much easier to find a good instrument, to sell instruments, deal uh, trades, and everything else. And I think it's an advantage to have your strong hand on the neck. I actually feel like
Mm.
it's